Hi everyone, my name is Aimee. I come from the suburbs. People say I have a cute, doll-like appearance. The main highlight is my hair, which is light blonde and naturally curly. I have a small coffee shop in town and a side job as a writer. I know my appearance is one of the reasons why my shop is always busy. Sometimes, it's annoying because the perverts are always staring at me.
Welcome!
It was a guy about 6 feet tall, wearing a classic suit that is absolutely my taste. He has fair skin and strong masculine face. My heart beat faster than usual. I couldn't control my emotions. We suddenly made eye contact. I wasn't sure if he'd noticed my blushing face. I hope not, because it was so embarrassing. After that day, he visited my store more often and became a regular customer. After so many days, I couldn't find the courage to face him, and we finally spoke to each other.
You like books?
Yes, I love books. I spend all of my free time reading them. I finish all of the books, as you can see here.
Oh, really? That's something we have in common. Although, some of the books you have here, I've never heard of.
Well, feel free to borrow them if you want. We had a nice chat after our favorite books after that. His name is Van. He just moved to the area and couldn't make many friends yet. He asked if we could spend more time getting to know each other, and I happily agreed. I showed him my bookshelf and lent him the books I thought would suit him. Van looked amused. I handed him an old, thick book. How about this one?
What is it about, Aimee?
It's history. Do you like history?
What a coincidence. That's my favorite. You're sure you don't mind if I borrow it?
Oh, of course not.
You're so kind. I promise to be careful with it and will return after I finish. Thank you so much.
It became our habit after that with Van, borrowing my books and returning them during the weekend. After a while, I finally decided to confess my feelings to him. I purposely left a note in the book to ask him out on a date with me. That morning, I carefully wrapped the book I was going to give him as a gift and felt more special than usual. In the letter, I asked Van to meet me at a restaurant near my coffee shop. I put on one of my favorite dresses and patiently waited for Van. An hour had passed yet I didn't receive any calls or texts from Van. I got impatient. A guy at the opposite table kept staring at me, then suddenly got up and walked over to my table.
Are you waiting for someone? If you don't mind, you can enjoy dinner with me.
I was too embarrassed to say that I stood up by my crush. I refused the guy and left immediately. The next day, Van still came for coffee. I couldn't understand how he could act as if nothing had ever happened. No apologies or excuses. I took that very personally and didn't want to face it, so I decided to hire staff to manage the cafe for me. I moved my office to an old and a bit deserted apartment, but the rent was a steal. The space was also very suitable for me to write books without any disturbance. But since then, weird things happening to me. Every night before bedtime, I would hear footsteps right outside of my room, but just when I was about to open the door, it stopped. Only darkness filled the corridor. In the following days, I received a lot of bizarre letters left at my front door. They were all very strange. I miss you. Why don't we meet up each other? Why are you up so late? Your nightgown last night was beautiful. Don't eat too much fast food. Do you have a headache? Oh, those were too personal questions, and they scared me because I didn't see anyone those days. How did this creep know what I had been doing? How long had it been following me? What kind of sick plan did this guy have for me? Oh no! Would this turn into kidnapping or even worse? Thousands of questions like that kept me awake at night. One morning, I met my neighbor and asked if he had seen anybody that didn't seem to belong to the building hanging around. The old man looked confused for a moment and asked,
I don't quite get it. Aren't you here with your boyfriend?
No, I've been here alone the whole time. What are you talking about?
Oh, wait. I don't quite get it. How come every night I see a man following you home?
My heart skipped a beat.
Stop kidding around. You're saying who I saw with you wasn't your boyfriend?
No, that's so creepy. I wasn't aware of anyone following me home. Upon finishing my words, I ran away without saying goodbye. I needed to meet among the crowd to feel safer. For those 2 weeks, I was regularly harassed by anonymous letters that were stuck on the door. The stalker also sent a lot of flowers and food to me. Because I was in my room for the entire day at times, I had no idea until I opened the door or smelled the food going bad. The flowers were trampled by people passing by and looked very dirty. I couldn't take it anymore, so I called the police. After 20 minutes, I heard a knock on the door.
Hello, Miss Aimee. We're here for a report about a stalker.
Yes, it was me. What happened was truly creepy. I told the police officers about the letters and let them take the evidence. Of course, I didn't forget to tell them about the strange footsteps in the middle of the night. The 2 policemen looked at the evidence, then looked at each other. They shook their heads and said,
It wasn't enough to open an investigation. We don't even have the camera footage to prove that someone disturbed you in the middle of the night.
I asked my neighbor to help me testify, but the police thought I was making a big deal out of some arguments between me and my boyfriend. They expressed their displeasure and quickly left. I felt even worse. I didn't feel safe in my place anymore, so I decided to return to the cafe. The morning I saw Van again, after I left, he still came to the store more often. I thought I had forgotten him, but my heart obviously hadn't. What should I do? Should I forgive or let him have his second chance? As soon as he saw me, Van happily ran over.
Aimee, it's so good to see you again.
Have you been waiting for me?
Yes, where have you been all this time? I was worried about you.
I didn't know how to answer him. I was still upset from being stood up last time. Van took my hand and said,
Sorry for not having the courage to say this sooner, but I liked you since the first time we met. Could you go out on a date with me tonight?
I was so excited that I couldn't think about it before agreeing. Honestly, I was still pretty mad about what happened, but I didn't want to miss him again. It took me an hour to put on makeup and prepare for my date with Van. He arrived in time and drove me to the restaurant. I was impressed by the location he had picked. It was a restaurant that normally takes at least a week for reservation. His sincerity and kind gestures really touched me. We talked a lot and had a great night. Van asked to drive me home. I was a bit tired, so I took a nap in his car. And when I woke up, I found myself in front of the building. I was still waking up and I didn't know exactly what was going on. When I turned over to find Van, I was startled to find his face super close to mine and his hungry glare. He was looking at my red lips with desire to possess them. His breathing was quick and hot. I panicked and pushed him away. He seemed upset. I spoke up to clear the air. Oh God, I'm sorry, I fell asleep.
Oh, no, not at all. Don't apologize. I didn't mean to wake you up like that.
Thanks for dinner. I'm going up now. Good night. Van quickly got out of the car to open the door for me. He insisted in walking me to my door. I didn't know why, but I couldn't say no. As we get close to my place, he suddenly said,
I had a great time and hope you did too.
I didn't say anything as I was busy opening the door. Suddenly, I remembered that Van put his jacket on me to keep me warm earlier. I turned around to give it back and say goodbye, but he was gone. Nobody was in the car door anymore. My soul left my body. Van was gone within seconds. I ran to the front of the building to find his car, but it was also nowhere to be found. What's going on? As I was returning to my room, I heard footsteps not too far away. It's him again! I got goosebumps and ran back to my room as fast as I could. The next morning, I woke up earlier than usual. I set up a hidden camera around the trash can across from my door. I made sure no one could see the camera. After a few days, I checked the footage that the camera got. Wait for a second. That was a familiar figure. Van? Oh God, was it really him? Judging by how skilled he was, he could make a good spy. How many women had he done this to? He was right above my room and I had no idea until now. I was too shocked to accept this information. My crush stalked me. I called the police and asked them to come over right away because I had enough evidence this time. It took them 15 minutes for them to arrive. This time, they confirmed the evidence. After receiving a warrant to search the house, the police surrounded Van's room. I followed.
This is the city's police department. We have a warrant to search the premises.
After a while and some clunking sounds from the inside, a man spoke up.
You must have mistaken my place with someone else. I didn't do anything to earn this.
Open the door, sir. We got the order to search the place and we'll kick the door open if needed.
Van still refused to open it, and the police resorted to kicking down the door. They arrested him on the spot. As the officers searched the place, they found a printer and harassing letters all over the floor. We went inside and a musty smell hit us. When I turned on the light, I was shocked to see photos of me everywhere. Oh my God! You're such a sick person! On the large bed was a pillow the size of a real person, with my face printed on someone else's naked body. Van was taken away by the police, but he still got the nerve to scream at me.
Why are you doing this? I thought we feel the same way about each other.
I don't know what to feel anymore. You are beyond my imagination, I exclaimed.
You turned me down and avoided me. I did all this just because I wanted to be with you every day. All because I freaking love you.
I was speechless and could only stare at him. Suddenly, I saw the gift I had given Van was still intact on his desk. Why is this still here? You never opened it?
You told me that I could keep the book, so I decided not to open it. I didn't want to ruin your perfect wrapping work.
I went over and opened the gift. I pulled out my love letter, which was shocking to Van because he had no idea it was in there.
You never said anything, Aimee. I thought you rejected me and were just trying to be nice. You didn't open your books after I returned them either. I left you so many notes to ask you on a date with me.
Dear, I never expected this misunderstanding to be the end of our relationship. Whatever the truth is, it's unacceptable for him to stalk and scare me like that. He cried a lot and begged for my forgiveness, but it was too late. The police led him to their car and drove him to the station, then finally received the punishment he deserved for his stupid act. I lost faith in love once again. What can I do to save this broken heart, guys? It will take an even longer time for me to open up my heart again after what happened.